So beside me here, I have the 2026 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate in Onyx Black. We're gonna do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So in front of me here, I have the 2026 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate in Onyx Black. And honestly, from a luxury 3-row SUV point of view, this is probably one of the nicest ones you can buy on the market. And with the Ultimate, you're pretty much gonna get a load of options that you may or may not use. But we'll start here at the front. We've got these C-shaped LED daytime running lights with your LED lights. Now, as we come into the center here, with the Ultimate, you're gonna get a grayish grille with that GMC logo also in that same color. And it's got the Denali terrain on there. You've got a camera underneath to encompass your full 360 camera. But just looking at it from a front profile view, it looks fantastic. You've got your parking sensors down below there on the bumper. And then you also have fog lights below your headlights. You also get some brushed aluminum trim there, and then underneath there you can see you got a little bit of some plastic air dams there, but nothing too big. I feel like they don't make them big like they used to, but overall at the front, I think the profile of it is beautiful. You don't have too much going on the hood either, but overall I gotta say I think GMC did a fantastic job with the overall design layout. So that's really it at the front here. Let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the engine of choice. So taking a look underneath here, the Yukon Denali Ultimate, we've got the 3-liter Duramax diesel producing 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque mated to the 10-speed. Now the nice thing is that you can get the Duramax diesel in this trim, which is pretty much a fully loaded option. You still can get the 6.2s. The nice thing is you still have another option if you want to get the Denali Ultimate trim. So that's really it underneath the hood here. Let's take a look around the Yukon Denali Ultimate and go over its options. So let's take a look around the Yukon Denali Ultimate, and we'll start with these massive wheels. So we're sitting on a 24-inch wheel, and it is a gunmetal gray color. Now the tire size is 285/40 R24, so a massive 24-inch wheel now, and they are sitting on Bridgestone tires. You've got a carpeted liner inside, and this vehicle does sit on air suspension. As we can see, the airbag tucked in right there. Now over here on the side of the fender, we can see we've got the Ultimate badge there. We've got a blacked out mirror cap, camera underneath to encompass your full 360 camera with a light indication there. Now here's a side profile view of the Yukon Denali Ultimate. It is not the XL version, but as you can see, it does come with more chrome on the side, even at the bottom there, and then you got the chromed out Denali name. But from a side profile view, I think it looks pretty good. The nice thing is you're gonna get keyless entry on all 4 doors, and then it does come with more chrome around the door handles. Now, as we open up the door here, you're greeted with a 2-tone interior. So it's like a brown and black with some white stitching and piping. So we'll start here with the door panel. Brown here, as we can see, with some white stitching. You're gonna get real wood trim there, white stitching there at the top. Now at the top here, it looks like it's black, and then this is brown. Lock and unlock here, window control, and then you're gonna get your Bose performance speakers. No memory seating here, which I wish they did put for passengers. Now over here on the door sill, you can see we got the Denali there. And then over here on the seats themselves, they look and feel fantastic. You got speakers in the headrest too. You got the Ultimate badge there on both seats. And as you can see, you got like some terrain design here, but overall I think they look good. Now you got your seat adjustments here. This vehicle does come with massaging seats on both sides. And this is what the dash looks like. So you're gonna get some more brown leather here with some more wood trim, and then brown leather here with some white stitching, and then some storage underneath. You're gonna get that lower glove box area as well. But overall, it's a really nice area to kind of hang out for a long drive. As you can see, you've got a power running board, which comes standard. Now, as you open the back up here, this is what it looks like. So this one does not have the executive seating, so you can get executive seating so that you do get automatic seat controls here, but this one does not have it. So over here on the door panel, again, all brown leather with some white stitching, black here at the top, and then you got some white stitching as well. Massive cheese grater for a speaker, Bose performance speakers. You got Denali here also on the door sill, and then the seats themselves, again, very comfy. You got black here with some white, and then obviously some brown, and overall I think they look good. I'll show you guys how to use the controls in just a moment. Now inside here, you've got your cup holders, 2 USB-Cs, 2 HDMIs, and only one 120 plug. And as you can see, you've got screens back here, so you can play, you know, your COD and Battlefield or whatever you want to play back here, or just hook up whatever you want to do. You've got a full moonroof here, and then you've got handles to help you get in. So I'll show you guys how I would get in here as someone who's about 5'10", 5'11". All right, so hopping inside here, the running board's going to help you tremendously, as well as the handle. So getting inside, very, very easy. So that's obviously nice to note. You've got an armrest here, and then, so a couple ways you can move the seats. You can push this, go forward and back, right? Very easy. This is your recliner, so you can recline it. This will also fold the seat to make it flat, and it also folded up. So you can also do that as well. And then over here on the back, there's a button here that you can click and it will actually fold the seat. So that's also one thing to note. I like the screens back here. You've got only, again, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and you have like probably, I would say close to 2 inches of headroom. But overall, it's a very comfortable space. I mean, you can move the seat back and you've got this entry point here to get access to the third row, which is always a nice thing to note. But you can move the seat too if needed. And like I said, the seats are comfy, they're plush, and the armrest here is also nice to have. Now, when you get out and if you want to use that button to move the seat, you can just do that and the seat will go down just like that, and then you click it again and the seat will fold up. Now you obviously have a decent amount of room if you have that middle pocket to get through for the back seats, but overall it's a really nice interior. Let me know what you guys think. Now that's it for the back here. We'll shut the door, and then this is what that back tire and wheel looks like. So same dimensions, 285/40 R24. And like I said, you've got this massive 24-inch wheel. It's crazy now that you've got a 24-inch wheel on these cars. You got the carpeted liner, and it does sit on that air suspension. But that is really it from a side profile view. Let's take a look at the back. So taking a look at the back here of the 26 Yukon Denali Ultimate, we can see we got the Denali name in the center, Yukon on the left, GMC on the right. You've got quad-tipped exhaust tips there, and then that piece there is actually a grayish color, as well as that piece there at the top. Now you can see you've got kind of C-shaped-ish LED taillights, and the nice thing is they have the GMC name there also on the side. Now I'm going to zoom out here, but overall I gotta say the back end looks good. Couple ways to access the trunk here. You can push this button close to the eye and it will open the glass, and then you have access obviously to get into the back. So this would be good for like you being close to another car or something and you need access to the back, or if you're in a parking garage or whatever. But one thing I also like is they hide the wiper and they stow it in this kind of lip, so it cleans up the back here. Now another thing to note is you do have two cameras. One is for your back camera when you're backing up, and one is for your mirror camera, which we'll take a look at. Now to open it up, all you do is push this button here and it will open up just like that. Now without getting the XL version, you're gonna lose, I would say, about a foot and a half of room back here. You don't get too much storage underneath here, but the nice thing is you can move these third row seats. So by clicking this button here, you can push the seat down and have a decent amount of room. Now for the middle seats, you can only have them go down. You cannot actually have them come back up. But this gives you an idea kind of how it looks like. You can push the third row seats up just by clicking this button here. But most vehicles now, I would say, well, at least in the higher trims, they have these options now. And then you also have a 110 plug back here. Nothing really over on this side, but you get your speakers. But overall, it's a decent back end area. And then to close it, all you do is push this button here, and then we'll shut just like that. But that is really it for the back here. Let's take a look at those seats behind the driver, and I'll show you guys how to use that screen in the back as well. I just want to thank Applewood GM here in Mississauga, Ontario. Go see my boy Zach, he'll hook you up with a great deal. All right, so taking a look in the back here behind the driver's side of things. So same type of design. Again, you're gonna get brown leather here with some white stitching, real wood trim, lock and unlock here with your window control. And then this here, like I said, it's a black at the top, and then you've got your brown speaker down below, some storage pockets here, Denali here on the door sill, as we can see. And then this again is what the seat looks like. So you're gonna get these armrests too, which will help when you are on a long drive, but they move very easily with these handles here. And then you obviously have that button like I showed you guys over on that side. Now, when you hop inside here, this is exactly kind of what it looks like when you're looking back here, so I think it looks cool. But over here, this is the screen. So you got heated seats back here, and you can change kind of where the climate goes, which is pretty cool. You've got your USB-Cs here, and then you've got your 110 as well, cup holders. Now this center console actually moves back. So when I show you guys at the front there, there's a button up top there that moves this console back. So when you're kind of relaxing on a nice drive, so you can sit back and have your cup here while you are cruising. But overall, like I said, you got your screens here and it looks pretty cool. And then obviously to get out, very easy. You have your handle here, and that makes it very useful, as well as the running board. So that's it for the back here. Let's take a look at the front. All right, so taking a look at the front here of the Yukon Denali Ultimate, we'll start here with the door panel. You're gonna get that brown leather here with some white stitching, wood trim here, black at the top, and then brown here. Memory seating here with lock and unlock, window and mirror controls here, and the mirrors are power folding. You've got your Denali there on the door sill, seat adjustments here with massaging seats, and then this is what the seat looks like. So again, two-tone with some white stitching and piping, and the seats themselves are very comfy. Now on the left side of the steering wheel, we've got your 4x4 settings with your different drive modes. You've got your light controls here, trailer brake controller, parking brake, and then here you've got 360 camera, parking sensors, which you can turn on or off, auto stop start, lane keeping assist, traction control, hill descent control, and then this vehicle will park itself. You also have a telescopic steering wheel. But that is it before we hop in, guys. Let's take a look and go over inside. So we are inside the GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. So we'll start with the steering wheel. We've got a leather wrap steering wheel here, as we can see. We've got some white stitching inside. It does come with Super Cruise here at the top. Now to control Super Cruise, you just click this button here. You can also use regular cruise control if you wish. You've got your forward collision alert indication there. Now on the right side, we've got your heated steering wheel button, voice command, call hang up, call pickup. You can control your audio. And then you also have this button here, which cycles through your different infotainment settings here in the dash. So you can cycle through depending on what you want. I like this because it shows you your speedo and RPMs. Now behind the steering wheel here, we've got your paddles here, which you can use. You can, put it in sport mode and use those. And then you also have your tuning and volume below these two. So that's one thing to know. Now behind the steering wheel on your left side, we've got your toggles for your wipers. And then this here is your transmission select. It does have a heads up display, as we can see there. Now, unfortunately, instead of having buttons here for your heads up display to control, like in the trucks, you actually have to go into the screen, which I'll show you in just a moment. But the top dash here, I would say, is a hard touch plastic. You do get some storage in here too, just in case. And then over there, I would say, is also a hard touch plastic. But nonetheless, I think the dash looks good. You've got speaker there close to the A-pillar and on the A-pillar, and then you have one in the middle, and then also two over there. Now this here's your display screen, and it works very well. It's very intuitive. You got a lot going on here. So I'll show you guys the different camera angles. Ton of camera angles which you can control, right? You got 360 views, you've got bird's eye views, you've got side views too. So once you turn the wheel, you can see it'll show you that. And if we go back here, you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. For now, GM will be getting rid of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, I believe for their 27 or 28 model year. You got your vehicle status there. You got different trailering apps there. You have your climate control button here, which you can control. These down below are pretty much your climate control buttons, but if you actually want to go into the climate control setting, you can do that just by clicking that button there. You've got your maps on here too. So like I said, the responsiveness is pretty good. Now, if you want like 3 different things on the screen at once, you just click this button here at the top. Or if you want to go to a quick setting like your audio or your maps, you can do that too. Now, here are your controls. So when you hit controls, you can control your running boards, your heads-up display, blind spot detection. So if you click HUD, you can move your heads-up display up and down or rotate it just by clicking this button there. You also have a hotkey here for your controls instead of going into the screen themselves. So for example, if you're at this screen and you want to go right to controls, you can do that. It does have dual zone climate here at the bottom, and you also have heated and ventilated seats, as well as that heated steering wheel button. Now over here, you do have your wireless charging pad, USB, USB-C, and then the nice thing is you can close this, but it is like a piano black, so I mean, it will get dirty. But you can see also you got some wood trim here. So the way it's laid out, I would say, is really nice. You could tell the quality of the material is really good. And then obviously over here, we have your push button start. Now this here is your center console area. So we've got some brown leather here with some white stitching and then some nice perforation here with the Ultimate badge. So again, laying your arm on this is really nice. It's comfy. Now, when you open it up, it doesn't seem like you get a decent amount of room here. However, like I mentioned, you can move this back and it will give you ample amount of storage down below. So when you click this button here, this will move back and you're gonna get a ton of more room, right? But you also get a little bit of more storage. So that is really cool. And like I said, you get the back passengers to have easy access back there if they have their cups or whatever. And then you can also move it back. So you can push this and it will move back to where it needs to go. Now, another cool thing is you can actually move the third row seats down by clicking this button here. So when you click this button here, we'll click this one. Just like that, it will fold down and it will also fold up. So that is another cool thing that they've done here. And the GMC's had that for a little bit of time. You do have your moonroof controls here, your OnStar, your light controls. And then this here is your rear camera mirror, which you could also turn on or off. But overall, guys, that is really it for the interior. Now, you can get augmented reality and night vision with the Denali Ultimate, but this one does not have that option. So you can get the night vision there. But like I said, I think overall the interior is beautiful. I mean, the GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate really competes with the Escalades. Some people may prefer this over the Escalade, right? Because the Escalade has that massive 55-inch display screen, where people may just prefer this kind of screen here and screen here. But I'm sure you guys are wondering and curious about the price, so let's go outside, talk about price, and give you guys my final thoughts. So let's talk about price on this 2026 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate here. We're sitting at $134,503 Canadian. So I do understand like the prices are definitely high, but if we're just talking from like an SUV point of view, like design and quality, I mean, the GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate gives you a lot of great options. I mean, you still can get the Escalade for like 20 grand more, but you know, when you compare this to like a German rival, you know, like if you go with a Mercedes, the GMC is a wonderful looking SUV. I mean, you still can get the diesel or the 6.2, so there's some couple options there for engines, but overall I think they've done a good job with giving a decent amount of options in the vehicle, right? Like you've got the heads-up display, you can get night vision, augmented reality, speakers in the headrest, massaging seats. It's a really nice looking vehicle. So let me know what you guys think about the review in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.